Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bulletproof Pub and the Dwayne and Jan show.
Morning, guys.
This might be our fourth or fifth episode or something.
Something.
So we're going to try to stick to about half an hour. I'm going to set my timer right now. Okay, so we're trying to stick to half hour. I know you got places to go. You sent me a link this morning that was pretty cool. We're going to talk about it now. About the Illuminati board game. And so we're just going to quickly go into the talk or the guys that created it.
Yeah.
And I've set my
Occultists.
alarm here. We're nice and clunky, so that's all good. We are au naturel. So 30 minutes and counting. So I'm just going to share the screen on the person that created this Illuminati game. Can you see that now?
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve Jackson, not the guy from, not Steven Jackson, the guy, the Lord of the Rings guy, I think that's who it is. But this is also confused with another Steve Jackson. We won't get into it. This is the guy we're looking for. He's a game designer. Okay. He designed this Illuminati game that Jan is about to show us. But we wanted to just go through the source because this is both what Jan and I do. We chase sources, and we think it's important to know who the creators of these things are. And today, the topic is game design. And so this guy had an academic background as well. This game is actually based off of a book. Okay, and this guy's fairly well off now. You can see like he's had actually court cases with United States Secret Service. They went and raided his business and took a bunch of shit from him. Now I don't know if this is just controlled opposition or not, but
Programmers, man.
yeah,
That's
right.
what these people are. Programmers. These
Yeah,
games were a way of addressing a portion of a consumer base, as they would see it,
right.
and
And
they
you
could
can
sell them on the ideas of how they do things and
yeah
how
you
they
can
want things done.
you
Pre-programmers, right? Predictive programming, if you want.
pre-programming exactly. You can see in March 1990 is when this happened, and the reasons why they went in there was because of that, because they figured there was hackers involved.
A game book. I love when I see game book.
Right.
I think Holy Bible when I see game book. I'm sorry.
So then Steve Jackson designs this game, the Illuminati. You can see he's a graduate of Rice, and it's based on the book written by Robert Anton Wilson. Now this guy is interesting. Can we get a image of
I have
him?
a friend who went to Rice.
This is him,
Oh, wow.
Robert
Who's
Anton
this?
Wilson today, or no, 1991. So I'm not even sure if this
Phenomicon.
guy's alive right now.
Phenomicon.
Look at
Cool.
he's got a
Frankenstone. Cool.
triangle on his shirt. So he is actually, just in the half an hour I was able to look this morning before the show, he's actually comparable to one of his, he's a 1960s counterculture figure, comparable to that of Timothy Leary and Terence McKenna. Those are two giants of counterculture history. And we know a lot about um, them being agents as well, both admitted CIA agents. And, a lot of that counterculture and the New Age movement that Terence McKenna was involved in is all just orchestrated, fabricated, meant,
Brooklyn Brotherhood.
meant to
Born Brooklyn,
diverge
New York.
society, right? This New Age is just an extension of everything else before. So they both actually, they meet at Playboy magazine. So Hugh Hefner's the source of their friendship. Okay, when you look into him, he's from New York. You can see that his influences are Bertrand Russell, Carl Jung, Leon Trotsky, Ayn Rand. So we're looking at a bunch of socialists.
Satanists.
Yeah,
Illuminatists.
just the nasties.
The nasties. Dude,
And
they got a picture of homeboy with a cigarette hanging out.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and somewhere in here it talks about he's got a BA and an MA in his education, Bachelor of Arts,
Hey,
Master of
hey,
Arts.
Dwayne,
Yeah.
Dwayne, listen, my buddy's a fire guy, and apparently there's a fire in my neighborhood somewhere, and he's not gonna stop calling till I pick up this
Oh
phone and tell him
shit.
it's not my house.
Yeah, obviously give that a call.
Hey, hey, hey.
So while Jan is dealing with that, I think we'll just keep everything rolling, and I'll see if I can find his education. Here it is. He received a BA and an MA 78 and a PhD in psychology from Paideia
I like how he's got
University.
a cigarette out of his mouth.
Yeah, right. Role
Who
model.
does that? Hey, bud.
And so Paideia University, as it
I
says, here's an unaccredited institution that has since
No, I'm good.
closed. So his education's been received from somewhere that doesn't exist. Okay, but he's in with the same people. When you start talking about this guy, you see the same names coming up,
There's a house burning down
as
the
does
street.
in all of our other research here. You see Charles Beard, right? He's a father of the progressive movement. He radically changes the way that we look at our world. And this guy smoking a
Ezra
cigarette.
Pound.
Is
Ezra
everything okay
Pound.
there or what?
There's the house fire down the street. But Ezra Pound, that links you to Eustace Mullins. Remember we were talking about
Yeah,
Eustace Mullins?
yeah,
Well, Eustace Mullins, Ezra Pound reached out to him to do his like write up about him. You
right,
know, the Eustace Mullins did Ezra's Ply. You know, and I
right.
guess he was a big figure too in all this somehow.
Ezra Pound.
Birch Society you were talking about
Yeah, for
earlier.
sure, because he's a writer, and so that's how this. You got writers and musicians and all kinds of people playing roles in this, and they all got BAs and MAs. So Jan's going to introduce us to this game here. You can go ahead and share your screen, and we can start
Cool.
talking.
Let me get it.
Oh, just about broke my thumb yesterday, buddy.
Well, that's no good, man. You got a long season ahead of you. You can't be breaking nothing, bud.
I was drilling holes with a hole saw through multiple layers of plywood,
Yeah.
and just about twisted my thumb right off.
Oh, yeah, that's no good.
No.
Yeah, I don't like plywood. In any case, is my screen
Yes.
up and sharing?
Yes. Yeah, we're looking at
Fantastic.
a bunch of Illuminati cards.
Right. So there's this card game. It's 1995. It debuts 1995, right? So let's just get right into it. Right off the base here, you can tell terrorist nuke. Yeah, that's obviously
Yeah,
referring to 9/11. Pentagon probably referring to
right.
9/11 as
That's
well.
actually quite incredible that that terrorist nuke picture was done
Yeah,
before 9/11. So there's some context for everybody. That's not
yeah,
after 9/11.
right.
That image burned into our heads, man. Two buildings with the explosions midway like that.
Oh yeah,
Can you zoom in so we can read that, what it says? I want to know what that says. I got 50-year-old eyes here.
I can. I can read it for you too.
Sure.
It says it gives some instructions on how to play the card, and then
Yeah.
there's some clues ultimately, but it doesn't exactly tell you like
Oh,
what you. But it says
yeah.
this: play this card at any time to give you 10 plus power or resistance, your choice to any violent group you control. Which obviously the you talk about the Mujahideen, which turned into later they use them as the jihadists, the
Right.
terrorism, the Osama, right?
So then
Uh,
the game player himself or herself is actually controlling violent groups
right.
that that possess nuclear weapons and are considered terrorist groups. So this is the role of the game. I've never seen this game before. I mean, I've
Oh, this
heard
is
it
so cool.
referenced,
Yeah.
but I've never actually gone into the detail and looked at it. So I'm just going to ask questions as we go,
I would
but
learn
and
tremendously.
make some observations. But it's interesting already off the bat that the player itself is kind of in control of, it, from what I see, just sort of controlling groups and engineering society already. You can
Yeah,
see.
you're the
Okay.
master Illuminatist. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
And you're just
You,
deploying different attacks and you're playing versus other players, which are also master Illuminatists, and everyone's trying to deploy different strategies using different point systems that they have here, as you can tell, right?
Oh yeah, and each player is controlling their own violent groups
Yeah, I
and
guess
you're trying
so.
to win the game. So yeah, this is like modern Monopoly.
1995. Okay. All right. So let's finish up
Yeah.
what it said.
Okay.
It says, if used with an action, it must be played when that action is first declared and counts only for that action. If used for defense, the bonus lasts until the end of the current turn and does not count toward goals. So
Hmm.
that's more instructions on how to play the game, because obviously there is, additional details in order to play the game for that for
Yeah.
whatever rules
Yeah.
it's assigned. But we don't play it that way. We're just playing it. Let's just see what we see here, right? If you remember, read my lips. That's obviously referring to
No new
Iraq
taxes.
War. Remember
Oh
George W.
yeah.
I will not eat broccoli. Read my lips, or something like that. Remember that
He
was in
said,
the.
"Read my lips, no new taxes."
Or that is that what it was? And then we all
Yeah.
made fun of him. I was a kid in school,
And
so
then
I
he
don't remember.
taxed the shit out of everybody.
Right, but it was like a broccoli joke. You remember that?
Oh, that's actually that's not Bush. Read my lips, no new taxes. That was that Ross Perot, I think. It was during that era. Anyways, continue on.
Yeah. All right. So I haven't quite put this one together yet. I mean, it speaks for itself. However, we don't have the actual player that
Right.
makes that image. A lot of these, you're going to see the links.
So yeah,
Power
that's
corrupts.
interesting because you can look at the Red Scare now in our world as a card that they play. The hierarchy enslaving us is going to play their card.
That's right. That's
And
right.
right now, it's the Red Scare card, aren't they? Right? Russia, Putin, all of that.
Yeah.
It's just a modern
Yeah.
variation of the Red Scare for
Right.
sure.
But the thing is though, all these pictures, you can actually take a real picture when the actual event happens and almost see it side by side. So these images are not only predictive programming, they are actually predictive programming. You will actually see that image, magnifying glass with the teeth and all that. You're going to see it. It's just like that. And you'll see those links here. Maybe I could pull that up now just so you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Are you still seeing with me?
Pardon?
Are you still watching with me?
Yeah, well, I'm with you.
All right, is my screen still being shared?
Yes, but we're not moving. I'm still seeing cards with terrorist nuke at the far
So,
left.
all right. Do you, okay. What do you see now?
Nothing's changed.
So there's a, yeah, it's not, I cannot share the screen for whatever reason. It says,
I
oh, I
think,
see, it does say,
oh yeah, you
it
should be. Are
says
you
it's
just
paused.
skipping tabs? Are you going from tab to tab? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to let me share a different one. So let me come back into the share, man. Oh, I see. I have to go out here. Yeah, hold on. If I go out here and now I'm sharing, hey?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Sorry,
got it,
guys.
buddy.
It takes us a second to figure this out here. But look, so here I got this one labeled as 9/11 for obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I'll zoom in on it, but hold on. We have some of them I don't even remember. We have the 2012 Denver cinema shooting. Who remembers that? Okay. So what we're looking for is kind of
I do.
like, right? If you remember it, then look at this,
That's the
right? So
Batman
that's
guy.
kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for similar coloring, and what happens, similar idea, right? So you're going to see each card played out. Sometimes some people get it wrong, but look, it was predicated in the 95 card game, one could say, right? These are the kind of links and how we play this game, right?
Right.
This is how we play this game, right? So
So
here's what we got.
how are these images here connected to what you're telling me?
Okay.
I'm just seeing text.
Well, right now I'm going to show you a picture. This one says American Medical Association that only propagates snake oil. Let's see what that's what I tabled that. AMA,
You're trying to
right?
show me similarities in imagery between the game and something to help
And
me.
real life.
Right. And so then I can
So
relate to what
here's
you're saying.
AMA, American Medical Association, right?
Yeah.
Not and they obviously they're not in the best interest of humanity right now, are they? With the push the vaccinations,
No.
throwing down the opiates down everybody's throat. It's out of control. And AMA, these people that authorize these people to do all this work, they're all happy and cool with it, right?
Right.
Right? So that's the big joke. Look, so you can use this. The AMA can act to protect any science group, which that's what they're doing. They're protecting science, right? These
Hey,
scientists, these liars, right?
there's an issue here.
What's the issue?
I'm still looking at the the um the window with 9/11
Oh no!
JPEG on
Oh
it.
no!
Yeah.
Please, no, that's no good. Oh, brother, I'm sorry.
That's why I'm confused here because I'm still
Okay,
looking at
that's
that
why you're
initial
being. All right,
page.
so hold on. There's got to be some other way. New share.
We
There's got
got to
to be
get
some
it
way to
together.
share it.
And when we get it together, baby, you just
Uh,
wait. This is all good, right?
I'm gonna
This
get
actually
to it.
show. I mean, we could edit it, but I don't give a shit. This shows that we're legit.
No, that's
Like we're trying
fine.
to figure shit out on the fly.
It's fine. I'm just.
That's how
I'm
it
a little
is.
disgruntled with the fact that
I
we're
can see you
unable
moving
to
around
see.
there now.
Right, but it's not letting me share what I want to
Yeah,
share.
you click it and it's not coming up. Go to
Right.
your bottom right-hand corner and put images. You know, in the bottom right-hand corner of your window, you'll see you have options of whether you want to see these pictures in text form or actual image. You just have
Show
to go
all
down to the,
windows. Now it says share sound or no, it doesn't
no, I
give me
can
any of
see it
that.
right now. I'm looking at it right here. I can see it. Bottom right-hand corner of your window. You know, it's
Still
gone
can't
now.
see this,
Now,
right?
okay, so now you have yes, you've got an image here now.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah,
Okay.
AMA.
All
Yeah,
right. So my
yeah,
bad. That's why we was
perfect.
kind of like not looking at the same thing here.
Hmm. Now we
But
can,
this is it.
hey, now we
This is
come
the
to
truth.
terms. Yeah.
Yeah. Here we are. Right. We got the mask. That's what surgeons usually have. But anyway, so anyway, as I was saying before, they're okay with allowing opiates to be used. They're okay with all the Suboxone abuse. They're okay with all the abuse of all these different opiates because they prescribe them. And the
Yeah.
American Medical Association calls these people doctors. That's what they do. They prescribe opiates, right? And that's bad business. But like it says
Yeah.
here, the AMA can act to protect any science group. Well, the
Right.
science group is the pharmaceutical industry, right?
Yeah.
It's not
Yep.
really a science group, it's an industry. Right? They're
Yeah.
protecting this industry,
Yeah. Or it can attack it.
or it can attack it, right? But how do you turn the tables on that one? That'd be interesting.
Right.
All right,
So
let's
it
see if you
shows
see.
here, it shows
Yeah,
there that the AMA is a tool that
still see it.
you can wield
Yep,
whichever way you want. This is how they
correct,
use institutions now
correct.
as weapons, man. And
Yeah,
so you can see how you can see how you can make an entire community believe scientism through the
yeah. It's
control of
peaceful and
these
conservative.
institutions. Yep.
Note how
Peaceful,
it says peaceful and
conservative.
conservative down here.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is a strong attack. This is a peaceful and conservative way to decimate a society.
Through science. And
That's right.
this is consent rather than conquest.
Yeah,
This is the difference between socialism and
yeah,
communism, I suppose.
yeah. And then also,
Science.
I almost guarantee you, if you take the gematria dictionary online and you start plugging in like the way this is set up,
Hmm.
you're gonna right away. This is gonna tell you numbers, and I bet you all these cars have like these similar numbers. Like I
Right.
haven't gone that far yet, but somebody could
Yeah.
go that far.
Oh,
You
yes. It'll
know what
go
I'm
that
saying?
deep. It'll go
These
that
are
deep.
gematria encoded, buddy.
Sure. Well, when you're programming a game, you have to be so deep inside of it that,
Oh yeah, there's more to all this. CDC, not for America. Center for Disease Control. Let's take a look at this one. This one's pretty
1995, people.
1995. Yeah. So the CDC is going to be used. Uh, let's see how. It's a peaceful government. Oh, it's a peaceful government, buddy. Did you know that the CDC was a peaceful
Peaceful
government?
government. Wow.
Oh, it is
Hey,
now.
okay, so, hey, the one thing I want to say right away here is that's not the full name of the CDC. Center for Disease Control and Prevention. but you never see that last part. So something for everybody to
Yeah.
contemplate as we go forward here. Is that
Well, because
the
it's
prevention
never,
part
it's not
isn't
about
even mentioned.
prevention.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah.
it's not really about prevention.
No, it's about control, right? Center for Disease Control.
Uh, let's see what this reads. As its action, the CDC can supply relief to one devastated location each turn. If the CDC makes a direct attack to destroy a place, it can use biological warfare and get a plus 15 to its attack. Okay, well,
That
if
sounds pretty peaceful.
the attack fails,
So
the
then they're getting
CDC,
bonuses for spreading biological warfare, just
yeah,
like what's happening now. You see the massive wealth gap being created, the
yeah.
wealth transfer, largest in history. This is what it's all about
Hey,
right here. People are getting, you
getting
know,
a feeling
they
you
get
like
profit.
this game. You like
It's
this
like,
game, don't you, buddy?
buddy, you know what this is like? This is like Bernard Baruch and how he was a war profiteer. And they just profiteered off of all of the manufacture of artillery and killing people from a
Yeah.
good, safe distance. And they made millions and millions. And then they even fucking investigated those guys, and everybody went out scot free because the whole case was controlled by the same people.
One more contingent here.
Yeah.
If the attack fails, the CDC is automatically destroyed by the owner of the place that it attacked. So they always give you a way out, but it's always via violent action. I'll not say more.
That's interesting.
I'm a peaceful,
Yep.
happy hippie.
Peaceful
Hippie,
government.
a doobie and a flower. There we go. Censorship. Oh, what is censorship for 500 bucks? That's what I call this one.
Nice. I love these images. They're beautiful.
1995, right? Censorship has always been a big deal. Everyone's been crying about censorship since the day a picture has been made. So that's not really a big deal.
Hmm.
But nonetheless, let's see what it says. This isn't the freedom of speech issue. Well, there you go. So it's really not about the freedom of speech. Say whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a decency issue. We're
Yes.
closing you down.
Right. Appeal to empathy, to do
Yeah.
the right thing, the greater good.
Yeah. Wow. What a whole different perspective on this. I'm glad we read this. This card may be played by any straight conservative or government group which makes or aids an attack against a media group. It gives an extra plus 15 to power to the attack and make it privileged. So it's something about media, conservative, government, censorship, closing you down. What more do you need to hear?
Hmm. Hmm. And we see that everywhere today now. Same thing. And so in 1995, when I think censorship, I think uh, Tipper Gore and um, illicit lyrics and the stamp
Right.
that they put onto like Judas Priest albums and all of that.
Yep.
That was really when they implemented that as the mid
Just so you
90s.
know, 412 images. So keep that thought in your mind because those
Where?
pictures are coming.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. You're going to need to identify them, but I'm just showing you the ones I've identified. I'm sure you'll
Okay.
find your whole lovely little set there in your own time.
And we have
For
seven
now, let's
minutes to
just go
go.
see. We've got charismatic leader. Well, there we go. There's your charismatic leader.
This, okay, so yeah, look at that imagery. Can you zoom in on that?
I can.
Look at that imagery right there. And so this is classic how they always portray our leaders as gods. So there's a, Trump is
Halo.
surrounded,
Look
yeah,
at
but
the
even
halo.
on the right
Golden
hand, yeah, yeah,
halo.
right. And that's always portrayed
And
in
he
imagery.
worships Apollo. This guy loves gold. He loves
And
gold.
yeah, and the faces in the background important to be in that art because of the charismatic leader. And
Yeah.
so that's really a cult of personality,
Yeah, we've
right?
got more on this too. I
Yeah.
mean, there's sometimes some of these players show up several times. Oh, I love the climate change, Green Deal, Agenda 2030, population reduction one. Let's take a look at that one. There's your goals, right?
Look at
So
that
there's a set of
skull head.
cards in here that have the goals for them, and they tell you what the problem is. Too many people making too many problems and not enough to go around.
That's a declarative sentence right there.
Not enough love to go
Needing
around.
of proof. When you make a declarative statement, there better be proof backing it, not just a fancy image.
Yeah. So it says destruction of up to 3 huge places count as 2 groups each toward your basic goal, or as 2 destroyed groups each for Chikulu, which is like Lucifer
Cthulhu.
in
That's a
this game.
Metallica song.
Yeah. But you may not count any other, well, it's because Metallica, they submitted to Satan.
Right.
You may not count any other destroyed groups toward that goal. And remember, no matter what you can, only count 3 cards, double towards your basic goal. However, if you can destroy 5 huge places without recourse to World War III, you may claim victory on the bases alone. Oh, that's how big that is. So if you can destroy 5 huge places and start World War III, that alone in this game gets you victory.
Wow.
2 birds with 1 stone, baby.
Goal, population reduction. That says a lot right there.
What some of their other goals are here. This one, not many people understand, I don't think.
We're gonna have to play this game so we can get an understanding of it.
Oh, we will. We'll get the actual set. We'll play.
Definitely. So there you go,
This
New
set's
World Order.
available. So New World Order, don't forget to smash the state.
Right.
All right. Now, to
Yes.
me, this was the destruction of the different symbols that represented sovereignty. We have the Confederate flag, how that was destroyed, everywhere and marred and taken down, right? And you have several different important statues throughout history that have always been taken down. Not garbage, obviously, but there have been good things of alleged previous civilizations that have been taken down. And this is, I
Sure.
guess, what's referring to that.
That's ultimate propaganda right there when you're altering statues.
Yeah, because look, the one player is Lenin, which they took down Stalin and Lenin and all that. Washington, for whatever, has now been marred too. Because I mean, look, he is a Freemason, and all Freemasons are communists, and Washington was a Freemason.
Yep.
And you
For
have
sure, guaranteed.
King George IV. Now, King George III was at the time of Washington, and shortly thereafter was King George IV.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure what King George IV refers to, but I'm assuming he was a Freemason as well. Matter of
Feudalism.
fact, I guarantee.
Well, you're seeing, well, he's probably representing feudalism or royalty, the monarchy.
It says here.
And what?
It says here, distrust of government is at an all-time high and society is crumbling.
Yeah.
Reduce the power of all government groups by 3. Reduce the power of all straight non-government groups by 2.
So this is also a major part of the destruction of the West, and why now I'm not so sure that we should destroy the entire system, because they're trying to make you hate everything West. All of our institutions, the way that our monetary system, right? So they want to destroy the state. They want us to look at the state like it is something that needs to go. So there's nuance in all of this, and a more sophisticated worldview helps us navigate through all of this.
So, Dwayne,
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, but I labeled this under weird or fanatic group allegedly, because I said this is the one I put for you and me. You're in my best case scenario.
Right.
I said instead of getting one in the back of the head, they send us to the deprogrammers, right?
Yeah.
So here's what it says. I didn't know this. I didn't read these before. I just got this myself, right? Not too long ago. I mean, I knew about this set, but I've only seen it card here, card there over the last decade. And I never really gave it too much thought.
I've never looked into it.
Yeah. So here we go. It gives a +4 to any attempt to destroy a weird or fanatic group, or +8 if the target is both weird and fanatic. Discordious immunity to straight groups does not extend to the deprogrammers. Yeah. Kind of weird.
So that's a straight card, whatever that means. But you know what they're referring to is Q-tartary, QAnon. And so QAnon is actually
Oh, he
created
gets
by
hit
the
hard in here.
CIA and the intelligence agency. It's a creation. It's really an extension of the Russian Operation Trust. And that's how they took over a lot of the people through the Russian Revolution and the purges that happened there. And so this also reminds me
Good points, but
of
it's
it
the
also
Russian.
reminds me of George Orwell's 1984 being brought to room 101 and having the rat cage put on you until you say 2 plus 2 equals 5.
That's right.
They look
Yeah,
pretty
you made some
serious,
good
man.
points with this one, man. You made some really good points.
Men
Really
in
good points
black.
here. Here's a good one. Earthquake projector. Okay. Now here's why I put this one up.
Projection.
All right. Now this is indicative of a machine that creates earthquakes.
Right.
And
Look at
and
that.
and I
Sound
get this though.
waves.
Right. Get this though. Hold on a second. So it was discovered through much investigation by academia that the earthquakes that did the whole tsunami event over at Fukushima were actually, there's no way they could have been real. And you could tell by the way they resonated and all that, that they were actually created.
Right.
So something created those earthquakes that did
Uh,
Fukushima.
well,
So
that
we're
wouldn't
going to
surprise
see it.
me.
Yeah.
Because when you look at
So,
the nuclear, the way that it dispersed from Japan, it went directly to the West.
and interestingly enough, too, if you look at the buildings in the background here, you'll
Yeah.
actually find buildings that are similar like this in places in like Japan and China and some of these big
Hmm.
Tokyo, Shanghai. You have these same
Yeah.
civilization
Right. Right.
remnants that you have in San Francisco, that you have in South America, that you have in Brazil. The same builders who suddenly disappeared have also been in Japan, have
Yeah.
also been in China.
I would say
Okay.
that, yeah. Well, I would say that when I look at those buildings, I don't think America.
No, I see a tone of Asia here.
Yeah, something
Definitely
foreign
did
for sure.
see these little and then obviously this everything's got the pyramid with this one. They
Yeah.
love using the pyramid.
Yeah.
Every player plays his part. Oh, here we got Mr. Snowden, right?
Julian
Is he
Assange.
dead? Oh, right. Is he dead? Is he alive? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Is he a truth
Play this
teller?
card immediately after any group has been destroyed or discarded by any player. So the destroyed group is gone forever. No card special ability can revive it. So he played some important part. What did he do? He released documents, right?
Sure.
Released some big
Wikipedia is a
documents.
major site.
Yeah. And he's released some major things too. He did more than just that. He's
Oh
just
yeah.
done some,
And his
and I
movie won
guess,
an Academy Award too. Let's not forget that shit.
yeah. So he plays his part. Uh
As did Snowden's.
yeah.
So, that
False
speaks to
flag.
a total establishment cozying up with the exact people we're trying to fight.
You guys remember the false flag march on
So
Washington?
here we go, January 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grr.
Where the lefties made a big stink and did a big stain, and they said it was these guys. They did the
Well,
whole. It wasn't us. It was them. It was them. It was them. Yeah, but it was you guys dressed as them, to doing them
oh, I
again.
see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I
Totally.
mean?
That was a psyop. That was
Yeah.
intelligence
Oh
for
yeah. It was.
sure when you watch the video and how that all portrayed. And
So I think that's what this represents, right?
sure. Yep. So did you read this?
No, you aren't ready.
Yeah, yeah, read it for
All
sure.
right, play this card along with the plot card. Yeah, along with the plot because there's a narrative. So in order to sell the narrative, let's go. March it
There's
home.
got to be
This
action.
card
Exactly.
substitutes for any one action of a power, 6 or less from any alignment or attribute, though not an Illuminati action. However, you must discard the top under. You may march on Washington only once per turn. So you can obviously look 2 notes. You can do it multiple times, and there needs to be a narrative,
Yeah. And we're
which
turning.
is true.
So uh this is also an appeal to the bandwagon. So argumentum ad populum. What this tells people, because they'll broadcast this on the television, say, see how many people think this. If you don't think this, you're not with the majority. And just that pressure right there will put most people into line.
Yeah. That goes both ways too.
Yep, totally. Yep.
Here we have the Fukushima predicated tidal wave, nuclear accident,
Right.
disaster. This is you can play cards together, right? Right. There's no
Right.
reason why you can't stack the
So
whole.
a
In my
nuclear accident
eyes,
causes a tidal wave, or a tidal wave causes a nuclear accident.
yeah, Dwayne. In my eyes, our ultimate goal with these cards should be to see if we can stack from one point and just take it through to today and be like, look, there it is. Because I bet you that's what they've done.
Oh,
They've done it so you could do
I
that.
guarantee you can do that
Every single
because
card
they've played
needs
every
to be
single card.
played before the game's over. So we got
Is that
412
right?
cards to play.
Is that one of
Yeah.
the rules of the game that every card needs to be played before it's
No, I
over?
don't know. We don't need to
Oh,
read the rules. We make
oh,
the rules.
no, I want to read the rules. I want to see what they say in there.
All right, you go read the
But
rules.
hey, we've gone over our half hour. So
All right. So
you've
it's
got things to
that's
do
enough. They
today,
get
and
the
so do
idea.
I.
Yeah, they
But
get the idea. Folks get the idea of what to do here, right?
yeah, and if you want, we can keep going here and just sort of go through that. It's very interesting to see that those cards and the imagery that's
Well,
put
let's
on them, we can find those nowadays in our real time, in our present day conundrum.
yeah, I say
Yeah, because I think it's important. Illuminati, maybe we can end with this. This is sort of the very uh, latest of my research is showing that the Illuminati, I'm starting to uncover the Illuminati in real life. So when we look at Louis Brandeis, there's no doubt in my mind that he is sort of the modern American translation of the old German Skull and Bones. That is where the Illuminati comes from. Shout out here to Shish Kebab Willie. We're gonna have him on the show here at some point because he really steered me in this direction. And so, Brandeis's family comes from Bohemia. He's from a long line of rabbis. He changes his middle name to Dembitz in honor of his radical uncle. Um, and Brandeis becomes the international Zionist leader, really, for all intents and purposes. He's at that point in time, everybody recognizes Louis Brandeis as the leader of the Zionist movement. He's not at Paris 1919, but his little buddy Felix Frankfurter is. And from all the reading I've been doing, Frankfurter's at everybody's table. He's the Cockleffel. He's the stirring spoon. He even called himself that. And he he went around in Paris and created a lot of these things. He's involved in all of the major meetings, and I think that he's just an extension of our modern skull and bones Illuminati. And we're going to continue to expose all of that. And for the uninitiated, you're hearing these words: Illuminati, New World Order. All I can say is do your research because, I mean, just the other day, Joe Biden is dropping the New World Order. Just last weekend, while everybody else is talking about the slap heard around the world, the World Economic Forum is having a meeting and they're just dropping New World Order all over the place. Okay, and this New World Order phrase and the Illuminati have been around forever, and you can trace it back to William Howard Taft and his father Alphonse. And so we're going through presidents of the United States, and this is all documented historical fact, and the things that we need to understand about us, so that we see ourselves in our true and proper place now, and then we can make decisions to navigate proper. Because obviously we aren't right now. We're stuck in a position of ignorance, and a good way. I mean, we're just trying to get through to people that this New World Order, the Illuminati, these are power words that that almost are now a source of ridicule for the mainstream and those that don't really understand what is going on in our world. But I really encourage everybody to visit this library that Jan is scrolling through right now and start to look at some of the articles we've written. Definitely look at the little 15-minute videos. This book is incredibly important. This is really what I'm talking about because we can win every time if we know ourselves and the enemy at the same time. This is what he says in here, and I believe it. Because when you know yourself and the enemy, you're not going to make mistakes. And so this is what our process is about. This is what Jan and I are doing. We're just
number one, the art of war is of vital importance to the state.
Right. Right.
Right now, the
So
state is freedom.
the preservation of the state. And so a healthy state can only be when its polis all think the same. That's when a state feels stable. When you've got a bunch of people thinking different, there's the state is at its, you know, its most able to be toppled, its weakest point. So we got to end there, brother.
Let's
It's
do
too
it.
bad. Maybe we can do some more during the week if I can find some time. Maybe you can find some time.
It's all good. We
But
busy,
yeah,
man.
I mean, that's just great,
I got a
right?
busy week.
Yeah. And last week was crazy, but we're just going to
We're,
we're going to continue to put out content like this and at least do half an hour shows a week. I've got articles coming. They just need to be published. So everybody stick with us and everybody enjoy their Sunday.
yeah, man. You too, brother.
All right, Jan?
Yep.
So we'll
See you
keep
guys
in
all
touch.
later. Have fun out there. Be
Yeah.
safe. Most important, be safe.
Yeah.
That's
Cheers,
all that
everybody.
matters. All right, you guys.